I'll go 5.
Then what's left? I'll do 6 then.
What? No, we need 6.
Sickest.
Giving
That's
her
6.
5 more minutes.
Sickest.
We'll not let her go first.
1. Yeah, but we have 7 people.
They already got her.
Yeah.
Oh.
Everybody got a number?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'll do 4 then.
He was number 3.
No way, dude. Shush your mouth, Devin.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
My ear
That's it.
is
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Didn't even have to sit through 4 other Mambos, just the number 5. Alright, so engraving, Zabin, or we used the Muse laser engraver. The launcher was the ULS laser engraver.
Thing don't work.
Definitely not working.
I think we just give us
So, we will use a Muse laser engraver to create, so let's try a few different things with the engraver, like engraving a dog tag or other things. We'll be able to do at least 2 things, like engrave a piece of metal or even a piece of the type of wood used for coasters. We will be able to complete this goal because we have all the needed resources, like the laser engraver and the software that goes with it. We are creating this because we wanted to test something like this. We want to see what the engraver can do. We will reach our goal by day 4 because we are confident that we will get at least something that we like or think that is cool. Did that cut off?
That's our
Oh
challenge.
yeah, that's our challenge.
That's our challenge. About our technology. Our technology is an engraver that you can use to engrave shapes or pictures. Our other technology is the software that is used to import these shapes or pictures to the engraver.
Yes. Real. Well, they're both real, but that one's big. This is recreation.
That one's perfectly average size.
That one's very big.
What did we learn? We learned about the autofocusing on the engraver, as well as what autofocusing is. Zayden learned about how the laser works and how the settings work. He learned how to import his pictures and engrave them. He engraved on metal and wood. I engraved on just metal, and we both learned the best settings for the materials that we use.
Hey, Parker. You're out of the cameras here a little bit.
It's whatever, Dad. Not my mom.
My problem. I had a problem of my Lacoster being too dang dark. This problem was fixed by turning the power way down because the power was way up and it was burning him and you couldn't really tell what it was.
My problems, among other ones. The main problem that I had was that, once again, the autofocus would go too high after it was set. This meant that I wouldn't get anything engraved because the laser from too far would be too weak to engrave anything. I fixed this randomly because I set the autofocus to 0.01 just for fun. And it reset to 0.2 instead of going to over 4, which means that I got a more precise and clear engraving. This has been a problem with both the rostering and vector cutting. I'm not certain if we caused the problem or if Muse just messed up a little bit.
My final products. It's one of my final products. I had another picture of LeBron, but it was on a way bigger piece of wood. If you're curious what that one looks like, you can check it out in Mr. Askerud's room. That's the little one. That's LeBron. And that's the one on the big one. And that's also LeBron.
Actually looks better from a distance on that screen.
My final product was 4 divot fixers for members of our Sargent County golf team. It has Sargent County above their name, and on the back, there's a bulldog. I gave one away, and we didn't give it back for the pictures.
Was it fun? Save it. For me, it was very fun. Although if I would have figured out the power problem faster, I would have been able to get more done with the engraver. There wasn't really anything else I wanted to engrave, but I probably could have found something that I did. That's LeBron again on a different piece of wood.
Was it fun? Parker. It was very fun, and considering this is the last time I'm going to do the laser engraver, I'm happy with all my engravings. Especially happy with these divot fixes, because they have a true purpose and aren't just for fun. That's LeBron. IRL.
Conclusion. We feel that we met our SMART goal because we successfully created the objects we wanted to make with the laser engraver on the materials we wanted to make it on. We would do this launcher again, and if we knew right away how to solve the problems, we would get more done. Launcher was very good at giving us all we needed to complete our projects, and the bag of items to engrave from the Votech Center also helped in that. Both had success in our final engravings. We got what we wanted. Worked together on the first day, giving ideas on the first few days by helping each other with the projects, and finally coming together for the presentation. Overall, we both had fun and engraved the items we wanted to engrave.
Vocab.
So, vocab word lake coaster.
Yeah.
What is?
I was just clarifying. Zaven used it. I was making sure no one got confused. They were like, "What's a LaCoaster? What is that?" I'm looking at that picture. I'm like, "What is that?" LeBron coaster. Picture of LeBron on a coaster. That's a LaCoaster.
That's a LaCoaster.
I'm so not happy for my.
All right. So.
That took you 6 minutes and 22 seconds on that.
Why are you recording? Why are you recording on a
Stopwatch.
Out of 5 again.
Out of 5. Out of 5.
3, 1, 2, 3.
Like Instagram Reels comment.
Yeah, I didn't have you in the first one. 4, 0, 5.
Buddy.
5. What?
But Devin was 5.
Instead of 1,
Did you have 5,
2,
Devin?
3,
Yeah.
4,
Okay,
5.
Devin.
Devin's Mambo, because he's number 5.
CNC. No, not CNC, level 1 CNC. Then they could have piece of metal that design. The design would be cut out, or I have sheet metal which is 5 by 4 inches. So it would be like at least 4 images on some words on it. One of these pictures will be a missile launcher without the picture. Will be turned for like one of the I have the things I need and it should work as intended and it should be. I will be doing this because I'm making it for us. So I'm not going to what it does. Because carry a air missile. That's why I choose the air missile launcher.
Were you feeling patriotic when you were doing this?
Kind of. I have they were work on the metal because when I tried to do G code on the metal, Carbon Crate was trying to use I was trying to cut the time it took too much at a time, so I would have to manually do that as well. Next, my launching project launching is CNC machines and factories for making parts of machinery. This is the CNC machine. This is the CNC machine. Really? People use CNCs make all sorts of things. So, from little fidgety toys to actual parts from machines. Actually, go back. Sorry.
What?
Go back. This is our industrial CNC machine. CNC machine we have. Is my talking too quietly?
Yes.
Yes.
One of the problems I had. One of the problems I had was the CNC software not working right away, so I had to re-get the Carbon Crate Pro, which I had to use a free trial for using my email. This is the final. This is after cutting of my final product. I will show you a different picture of the final product at the end of the presentation. Is that better?
Yes.
What I learned that there's many versions. No, the version I used was the free version would not give G code while you're on trying to get. So those CB version 7 would not give you the G code free, but the version 6 apparently has a free version where you can get the G code for free. This is me setting up to see. This is me setting up the materials, but for when I was going to cut it. This is me measuring the actual plate, so I know, so I don't have the spindle go off into the kill switch. This is this was my first try at making the thing I wanted. But it kind of failed because I used the wrong type of spindle. And this is the last thing I cut and tried to make. This is what before the cleaning and removal of the actual material and all the little bits that came off of it. Next, this is the final product. It did turn out properly because I forgot to trim this. But I had this on the trimmer the wrong way, so when I made it, this material is supposed to be on the side. Flip to our new grease, which would have cut it properly. But I did not do that, which caused this. My challenge was to see if the CNC machine for the video we had before it would work. For the version I had, this video did not work. We're going to try it next week with the older version. I will not be able to meet myself more because I did not using the metal because of what I said earlier about this G code not being cooperative. But it's supposed to be CNC. Don't ignore that. Great. Next, this is my vocabulary.
Jackson, Brooklyn, fight over your number.
3.
Four.
Fight.
She already checked.
No, to the death. Fight.
I said
3.
Alright.
3D modeling with Tinkercad.
Jack.
So I will use Tinkercad and Thingiverse to create models that I want to use on my home printer by designing them. I will know I have met my goal because will have a different model for each due it date. I know I will be able to accomplish this because it's all on the computer and I have all the softwares needed. I'm doing this because I just bought my own 3D printer and I want to make models for it. And I will make a different model on each day that I work in class. My technology is a combination of Thingiverse and Tinkercad. Tinkercad can be used to edit your 3D models in any way that you want or create your very own. And I use Thingiverse for ideas of things to create and to make the 2 octopus. launcher to the real world. I have used my 3D printer to make all kinds of tools that I will use in my day-to-day life, organizers and stuff. Lots of other people have bought their own 3D printer and are doing the same thing as me. There's the model of the tube octopus, and then there's the final print. All I did. Switch the pictures. I learned more about Tinkercad and Thingiverse than I knew before. I learned how to make new shapes and successfully made 3 models. I stole a couple off Thingiverse, including the tube octopus. When I bought my own printer, I learned how slicers work by processing 3D models into layers with instructions of how to print each layer. So what problems did I have? I didn't have any problems with the modeling, but I had one problem with printing. I had issues printing the tube octopus. The printed supports on his back leg, so it snapped off when I was trying to remove it. And then his little toe snapped off when I was trying to scrape him off the plate. The build plate. On day 1, I found a shelf bracket on Thingiverse, which inspired me to make my own. And I will learn what I would be doing for the remainder of the days, and my technology will be used to support a piece of plywood. I successfully created a shelf bracket to support tools in my shop. On day 2, I learned why my progress from yesterday and the day before was completely white. I figured out which model I wanted to make next, and it's a wrench organizer. I'll be using my launcher in the real world to create tools that I can use in my shop, organizers, and other things that I can use all the time. I saw a wrench holder design on Thingiverse and decided that I could make it myself. I made my own design successfully. I learned what I will be printing next on day 3. I learned what else Thingiverse has to offer. The model that I downloaded will help me to organize my computer setup. It's a wired clip. I found a model on Thingiverse I want to print, download the model without any issues, and I will print it on my home printer. I used the beginning of the hour to find myself a model that I want, and once I downloaded it, I was able to spend the remaining time journaling. And on day 4, Mr. Ponder let me print the tube octopus. I'm printing this just for fun because I made other designs and I found a design on Thingiverse. That's it. And I didn't have a challenge really. I just had started printing it on day 4. So these are my completed models. My challenge was to create multiple 3D models that I would print with my home printer. I achieved this goal and made a bonus tube octopus. I really enjoyed the freedom of this launcher. I learned how 3D slicers work. The process of making each model was simple, and I would find a Thingiverse model and then just recreate it myself. Okay. Missing one.
Buddy, you got the exact same.
Look at it, Jackson. Just about the same point.
What exactly is the reason for having 2 octopus in your vocab?
2, 1, and we're in this one. 2.
That's into prototyping. My challenge is to come up with my own invention or product idea and to design a draft prototype using Tinkercad. Then evaluate your prototype. I will use the Dremel 3D45 to create a coaster and some other things or some other objects by creating and modifying the coaster to my own personal liking. In these 4 days, I will be able to create a can-sized coaster and have a personal imprint on the coaster. If I finish early, I will be creating a phone stand, which I did not get to. and I'll be able to complete this goal because I have the Dremel 3045 and Filament and the Tinkercad app and other knowledge to complete this. I'm creating this because I thought it would be fun to make, and if I can make it custom, it'll be like custom to me. Yeah. Yeah. My technology is a Dremel 3045. It is an easy to use, quiet and reliable desktop 3D printer with a fully enclosed workspace. It is used to 3D print objects using different materials such as the PLA, PETG, nylon, and the Eco ABS filaments. Well, that's the coaster that I printed, and then this is like other coasters that people use probably today. I learned that Tinkercad only takes certain files. It's like the PNG, and I already forgot that one. But anyways, and you know, if they don't work, you'd have to convert them. But there's online things that are for free, and yeah. My first problem was my golf ball tracer that I made. The supports on it were very hard to take off, and I ended up breaking it, but it still worked. So I guess successful. Tracer works. I don't have the golf ball with me. This is the Batman design I put on the coaster. It did not work at first because the file was the wrong type of file for the Tinkercad app, and yeah, but I got it to work after converting it. Things you will need to start 3D printing. You need a computer with internet access, a Tinkercad account, a Dremel 3D printer, and a Dremel accessory collection. Meaning of printing. When 3D printing, everything is a prototype with many iterations. Many people 3D print for fun and make things that they think are cool. Some companies, like building companies, use 3D printers to scale and structure things for building, and some designs they might try in the real world.
You just ruined the
My
most
experience.
beautiful
My
slide
overall
I've ever
experience
seen.
was pretty good. Tinkercad is fun and easy to use. Great for new people wanting to learn how to 3D print, and it's a good app. You're able to add pictures and designs that you want. This was also another design I thought of making, but I did not end up printing it. And yeah, it's just my last name. Conclusion. I think I reached my goal. I was able to design and print the coaster I wanted. If I did this again, I would print the phone stand I was going to, and in Tinkercad everything, you know, is easy, good for new learners, and yeah. And I learned that 3D printer can use many different kinds of filaments, which I stated previously.
Don't forget his birthday. He ruined the most beautiful slide that Logan's ever made.
That was really good.
With the birthday.
Sorry about that, Logan.
One.
I did Photoshop for my project this week. My challenge is to learn how to use the Photoshop tools to improve the photo. My SMART goal is to improve photos over the course of 4 days and learn more about the tools every day. I started off very small with the details and just using a few simpler tools to make the pictures look better in very little ways. About my technology. I spent the 4 days using the different tools of Photoshop to improve photos of my choosing. I mostly used some of the guides to teach me how to use the tools, but after a few guides, I tried doing one completely on my own. I think the pictures came out pretty successful. People use Photoshop all the time to make their pictures look better. either from removing stuff from the background or just changing the lighting and shadows. I only tested with the lighting, shadow, and color changing features for my pictures because I chose pictures with optimal backgrounds. I learned a lot about the tools in Photoshop over the short span of 4 days. I mostly learned about the lighting, shadows, and color changing features, and I mostly focused on the shadows and lighting, but I did a little bit of the changing with the colors in the end. Nothing too big to be noticed though. I did most of these changes just to make the pictures look better and more vibrant. The only problems I had with this project in the beginning was trying to figure out how to use some of the tools. Eventually, I figured out the guided photoshopping, and it really helped me figure out all the tools I needed to make the pictures look better. How I managed the lighting. The lighting was one of the easier aspects. The lighting was super easy to learn. You had a slider that you can change to specifically change what exact lighting you want, but an easier option or way to change the lighting was to just use the little boxes it showed you and pick which one was your favorite. The shadows were a bit more difficult. The shadows had to be very specifically done when there were shadows on a black object or animal. The shadows also have the slider and box options like lighting. Color changing was a really important factor of changing my pictures. I had to make the colors look different so they looked brighter and more saturated. I changed the colors in the specific picture so that you could see all the features in the picture without them being too dark. Photoshop can have many uses, and they can change so much about pictures. You can make stuff disappear and change lighting, shadows, colors, and more. Photoshop can be very useful. My challenge was to figure out the tools of Photoshop in the span of 4 days. I believe I achieved my SMART goal because I learned how to use Photoshop and change the pictures how I wanted. I would like to do this launcher again given the chance because there's still so much to learn. I really liked this launcher because I had the freedom to do what I wish with these pictures. I was very successful with changing these pictures to how I wanted them to be. I learned all about the lighting, shadows, and color changing features of Photoshop. I think the pictures turned out very well and that they look better than they did before. I think people should learn about Photoshop because it is very useful for color changing and changing pretty much anything in pictures. Yep.
All right, Morgan, whenever you want.
Just say one and one.
Oh, look. Morgan!
Oh, God, here we go. You put that up there to bring it in?
Jackson. Jackson. Do you like debit cards?
Yes, sir.
My upgraded phone stand and give it fixer for golf. I'm using prototyping and the level 2 prototyping for like the 7th time. This will be my final one. My sparkle. I'll use Tinkercad to make an adjustable phone stand and pivot fixers by using my knowledge and skills to complete my goal. I'll be able to do this in 4 days because the adjustable phone stand is a little more difficult to create for adjustments and stands and whatnot. I will be able to complete my goal because I have all the needed resources like a 3D20 and Tinkercad and also my knowledge to successfully master this goal. I am creating these because my first version of my phone stand cannot hold a charger bracket or a charger stand, and this one could.
I will reach my goals in 4 days. On day 1, I will get my phone stand. On day and put more detail on it because I started this a couple of days before. And days 2 and 3 and partly 4 is get the phone stand at least good to enough to print. My challenge is to come up with my own invention or product idea. Design a draft, a prototype on Tinkercad, then evaluate a prototype to see if you can find ways to improve it based on the discovery through analyzing this design.
Is that it? Yeah.
About my technology. The tech I'm using is called Tinkercad. I'm using again the prototyping section. The reason why I did the prototyping section so many times is because I keep wanting to challenge myself to try to create something new with Tinkercad. Bored. Okay, relate my lunch to the real world. My phone stand was supposed to work in the real world. One just works better. The real world one just works better than mine because it is built better with gears and more detail than one I can master on Tinkercad. Here's that adjustable phone stand, and here's mine in pieces. Okay. What did I learn? The things I learned that Tinkercad is a free web app for 3D design, electronics, coding, trusting over 50 million people around the world. Build STEM confidence by bringing product-based learning into the classroom. Tinkercad is an amazingly powerful, easy-to-use tool for creating digital designs that are ready to be 3D printed into super cool physical objects. One major thing I need to adjust is that I came into the classroom the next day finding that the print had restarted 3 times. So it was building on top of each other and it ran out of filaments. So I had to completely scrap that and restart. And then, yeah. What are the advantages and disadvantages of Tinkercad? The pros and cons and the bottom line. Pros is provided lessons and tutorials help classes get up and started. The cons is it has without the accessibility of multi-dual features, some kids might struggle. The bottom line is all features in the site and app make it nice 3D design, accessible, social, and relevant. Okay, what makes Tinkercad unique? Unlike other CAD programs, Tinkercad is a very easy learn and uses a simple 3-step design process. Tinkercad uses a simplified constructive solid geometry method and constructing models. A design is made up of primitive shapes and either solid or whole. What is the advantage of using Tinkercad? Overall, Tinkercad caters to a wide ranges of uses from educators and advanced designers, offering a versatile solution for various design needs, user-friendly interface. Many users have found Tinkercad to be incredibly user-friendly, making it easy for both students and teachers to quickly learn and implement. What is Tinkercad? Tinkercad is basically a very fun, Tinkercad is popular 3D modeling, circuit simulating, and block coding software package that is accessible for free via a web browser. popularity is no doubt a result in user-friendly simplicity. It consists of 3 sections, each of which can be considered the own endeavor and be used for different purposes. Okay. I did not meet my goal because I tried printing the phone stand and it failed. It broke on the second attempt. I would not do this launcher again because I did it the launcher 7 times. The thing I liked about the launcher is that it challenges you to do something new. I did, however, manage to create a divot fixer, and that one printed successfully. I did not have a partner, and the divot fixer was a very good for golf because on the putting green there are divots that need to be